Alright, what's up, y'all? It's K right here. I got breaking news. It seems that Teofimo Lopez is to be ordered by the IBF soon to be determined to fight George Kambosos Jr. For those of you that don't know, I will show the photo just for video clarifications, but let's get right to it. Teofimo Lopez is to face this guy right here, this crazy looking guy that has a very good boxing ability by the name of George Kambosos Jr. He's a very good fighter. I respect his game in certain senses, but he's not really like the well-known fighter because he is from Australia, and Australians are not really well known for boxing. Not even at the level of tougher, upper echelons, but let's get right to it with George Kambosos. This is the guy that beat Lee Selby in a very close split decision win, which I thought Lee was actually winning this fight, to be honest, but Kambosos edged him. This is a very big win on his resume. But this guy does not have any world championship experience, and good enough, he did manage to get the world title eliminator spot to fight Teofimo Lopez. Honestly, I think Lee Selby would have been a better matchup, but hey, you win and you lose. I like Lee Selby; he's a very good fighter, and I think he deserves to get his shot against someone else within that range. Honestly, Devin Haney should probably fight Lee Selby. I'm actually going to talk about the 5 opponents that Devin Haney should face before facing Teofimo Lopez if he is successful of defeating George Kambosos Jr. But let's get right to it. Teofimo Lopez is to face George Kambosos Jr. for making his his IBF title defense. Um, for I guess to sorry, I'm actually out of it, because I worked all day and I'm just a little bit tired. But yeah, he is to defend his IBF world title against George Kambosos Jr. And if he is successful, he will keep that title. Honestly, I think at this point it should just be all the titles. But then, that's why I guess there's way too many belts in boxing. And honestly, if a fighter that is a mandatory for a belt, which I know this may be a conflict of interest, it should just be for all the champions' belts. I don't know. But then again, it's I can understand if I lose one of my belts, then I'm actually at higher risk of losing the other two because of those mandatories will be ordered up for me to fight them, and then I would have to work harder to face those guys and then go after my IBF belt, take that shit back, and then do the same thing over to try to unify the belt and get what I need to get. But I think either way, it makes perfect sense because that's how the sport of boxing keeps itself, in competition to have, the main champions go at it and people are born into new champions. So that way there's better competition flowing in instead of having, I don't know, because it's still disputable of having one face, one name only champion, and then everybody's having to beat the living crap out of each other just to get to that one guy. But then again, just have one face, one name with multiple champions, so that way, experience levels can still fight each other, and they're all being tested for every single commission to be ranked in their ranking system. So if I'm at 20 wins, I'm going to be ranked higher than the guys that are ranked lower than me for fighting lesser opposition, but I'm always choosing higher opposition, guys with winning records that gets my name up there to boost up my stock and my ratings and my popularity as a fighter. So I think that's really where it's coming to. That's really where the sport of boxing needs to go to, but there's way too many damn belts. If you're going to have multiple belts, only have one belt, just one straight up belt. You have mandatories and then boom. That's it. But let's talk about this fight. George Kambosos Jr. He's a very aggressive fighter, and he knows how to really throw his punches at the right time. And I think Teofimo Lopez, he could definitely be in trouble if George Kambosos Jr. catches him with a very tough, punch. The reason why I say this is because Teofimo Lopez, he's not really the type of guy to really take punches at a high magnitude. I don't think we've ever seen him hurt, but even when we've seen, fighters like Nakatani that he fought, Nakatani, he could punch, but there is some credibility and some suspect, observation of Teofimo's chin, which I think that could be the biggest downfall of his career if he gets hit just one time or multiple times by a guy like Kambosos. That could definitely hurt him. Do I think this would definitely go the distance and probably to a point where Teofimo would have to make adjustments to try to beat George Kambosos? I do believe so, but then on top of that, Teofimo, he has power too, so he can literally hurt George Kambosos, so there's an equalizer to this fight. But if there's ever to be any possibility that George Kambosos comes in with bad intentions, even though that this fight is to be organized in Australia, if I'm Teofimo Lopez, I want to make sure that my fighter, well, honestly, Teofimo, he should be on the A side, so he should not be having to go all the way out to Australia just to fight George Kambosos. It should more so be like have him come all the way here to America and maybe pick like a venue with fans allowed, despite all this COVID nonsense, restricting everything through the state. But I would say, if it's going to be anywhere, definitely have it in the U.S. because going to another country to face a guy on his own soil is very risky, and as we know it in boxing, there's a lot of corruption with having those type of fighters that do come in with cheating intentions or political favoritism through promoters that probably already have interest in them, i.e. Bob Arum. But hey, like, you kind of get what I'm saying. That's very risky because there's a lot of conflict of interest where Teofimo, he's now the poster boy, but George Kambosos Jr., he could be the next future poster boy too. And I just think, like, what other YouTube channels have been saying about Teofimo Lopez, especially with his crappy, politicized behavior towards other fighters, as we've seen it with him trying to back Kell Brook to beat Terrence Crawford, when clearly Kell Brook, he wasn't even close to even be at Crawford's, level day of the fight. But I mean, I understand people will have biases. People will support people based on their own self gain, but at the same time, it's like, you still have to look at it from a from a third person point of view, and actually analyze what the behavior of the individual's actions are. And Teofimo has been a dick lately. He talked crap about Deontay Wilder when he was trying to break his silence against Tyson Fury. He's been talking crap about Devin Haney behind his back to say that he's undisputed and Devin Haney's not the real champion, and knowing damn well that he's not the WBC champion. Devin Haney is the real WBC champion. This isn't a trick question. You can Google it. You can find it on the WBC page. The real WBC champion is Devin the Dream Haney. Teofimo Lopez is not the WBC champion. So get that fucking WBC French fries belt or the franchise champion out of the window. Knowing that Teofimo, he emailed Mauricio Sulaiman to get the WBC franchise championship belt. So either way, even if he lost to Lomachenko, he still would have had like a belt, but a fake belt. So it doesn't even matter. Teofimo is obviously going to avoid Devin Haney any way possible, but I would hope not, and I would hope he could throw his trash ass WBC franchise belt and just be a man and just say, look, I have the WBO and the IBF belt. It does not matter. And I think he has a WBA, if I'm not mistaken. I already have his box rec pulled up, but yeah, he has a WBA. Yeah, Super World. Yeah, this is like the super title. That's not like the regular title. So Gervonta holds like the regular title. Yeah, that doesn't make any damn sense. IBF, WBO, and WBA. So yeah, he is a three time world champion. Devin Haney is the WBC champion. So either way, Teofimo is only a three-time carrying belt titles. But for this fight, I think it would be very interesting to see George Kambosos go at it with Teofimo. But if this fight were to be held in Australia, I would highly advise for Teofimo to make sure everything is safe. The gloves, the commissions, and no bullshit behind closed doors. Obviously, people like Bob Arum best are not the best people promoting fights, and Bob Arum seems to be a piece of crap every time he runs his mouth. But I would really hope that Teofimo could have the fight in the United States, because fighting another man in his home country is just not a good idea. It really causes a lot of political dystopia, and you might be on the verge of losing your titles in that sense of getting screwed over politically, if it goes to a decision. But either or, I don't think Kambosos is really going to have too much of a outing with Teo. I think Teo could easily knock this guy out and be ready for Devin Haney next. But I want to look past Kambosos. If I'm just going to be smart, looking at it from a stylistic point of view, Teofimo has way better style than George. George, he is a good fighter, but something tells me that he falls in love with his power too much, and he does not really box. Teofimo, he likes to box. George, he likes to brawl. So you kind of get the picture. Teofimo has more intellectual background to pick his punches at the right time, and he's more of a volume puncher, while George is more of a, I hit first, suppress, the attack fighter. Basically, he's a boxer puncher. But Teofimo Lopez definitely needs to make a statement in this fight. Even though that George Kambosos is his mandatory for the IBF, if he does not take out George Kambosos and he ends up losing, that is going to take a huge hit on his resume, and that won't be good. So I think Teofimo really needs, really needs to put that mindset in, so that way he can be ready, and Kambosos won't be so much of a threat, and then Devin Haney will be next. So now let's talk about the 5 possible opponents that Devin Haney should be facing now that he beat Gamboa. I would definitely go ahead and just say fight Tank, but that's way too unrealistic at this point. I mean, Tank, he's only 26, and Devin, he's 22. But Devin, he should probably give Lomachenko the opportunity to fight him. I know this sounds very risky to say that, but the reason why is because Devin Haney can prove to the world of what he should have done to Lomachenko when he was his mandatory for him within the following year of 2019. But if that doesn't fall through, then maybe he should fight Richard Comey or Ryan Garcia or Michelle Rivera. That would be a damn good fight, by the way. And I'd say maybe Felix Verdejo, because I think he's going to beat Nakatani, so he's going to move up higher in ranking. Well, I'm obviously looking at BoxRec, but that would be a very interesting fight to see if that were to come through. But if not, for Felix, maybe go at it with maybe Hector Tanajara. That would be a good fight to probably see. Or no, actually fight Rolly, because even though that that's a huge step, and Rolly is actually the mandatory for Gervonta Davis, and I'm actually gonna look that up right now. WBA rankings at 135 pounds. Yeah, he fights at lightweight, so at 135. Yeah, 135. Yeah, 35. Yeah, hold on. Sorry. I just don't have things put together, and I apologize. But yeah, we're at lightweight right now. Uh, yeah, yeah. We're looking at the WBA rankings, and Rolando Romero is the WBA interim champion. So he is a champion, and he can definitely either go after Yvan Mendy, which he ain't that good of a fighter. He only got 44 wins, 5 losses, and 1 defeat. But I mean, he's not really that good of a fighter. He lost to Luke Campbell for the WBA lightweight, um, lightweight world championship. Actually, no. Let me even take a look at that, because that doesn't make any sense. Because how the hell does he even have any titles if he's a contender? Yeah, Yvan Mendy. Yeah, that didn't make any sense. Was that actually a title fight? Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Luke Campbell has faced up against really tough opposition, and plus he's won with the WBC silver lightweight title, but I mean he hasn't been in a world championship yet. And actually, he actually came short against Yvan Mendy, and then I guess he rematched him, and he beat his ass. And then Linares, that was a that was a very tough fight. He could have been a world champion, beating Linares, but he got down in round 2, and then he got a cut eye from a legal punch in round 2. But yeah, for Rolando Romero, he can fight Gervonta Davis if he wants to, and Jackson Marinas, even though that he got screwed over by the judges for Rolly to be #1 mandatory. Yeah, Jackson Marinas should be #1, and Rolly should be #5. Yeah, Marinas is #5 on these rankings, but yeah, that's just very sad. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he can technically fight Tank if he wants to, or Yvan Mendy, or probably just go at it with Teofimo. Either way, either champion within that bracket could be his eyes set in stone. But I would say it would be a lot more interesting to see Devin Haney as a good fight, even though that we as fans would like to see Rolly, rematch Jackson Marinas for that mandatory position, or to get the interim championship position to be a mandatory. But either or, it's pretty much just a mandatory spot. But I think Devin Haney should definitely, take, a really high level profile fight. Uh, definitely fight Fortuna, or fight guys like, hold on. Yeah, let me take a look at that. Devin Haney. Sorry. I should always come prepared, but I never do, because I like to come in without a game plan, just like Terrence Crawford. Yeah, like Bomac says it. But yeah, Devin Haney should fight Vasil Lomachenko, Richard Comey, you got Javier Fortuna, or Ryan Garcia, if he's able to even probably get a fight with him. I doubt it, because Luke Campbell will probably just reschedule with Ryan, so that'll be Ryan's you know route that he'll probably take. I mean, honestly, I think Devin Haney should just offer the fight to Ryan, because Ryan, he has 20 fights right now, so Ryan would be a very good fight for Devin, and I think Devin, if he beats Ryan, he's already next in line to, you know, beat the living crap out of Teo and then fight Tank, and then boom, he could become undisputed at 135. But he did say he didn't want to stay at 135 any much longer, so I think Devin Haney should really get a fight in with Ryan somewhere down the road. I think even at the end of the day, Ryan and Devin are going to meet each other somewhere in either of 140 or 147, because they're both going to get bigger. They're still, you know, like, yeah, they're still little, like like they're little kids, you know, they're still growing into their, you know, man-like body. But, you know, as they get older and start, you know, maturing, they're definitely going to start growing into a more muscular driven athlete. But yeah, Ryan Garcia would be a good fight. Michel Rivera, very good name. He is definitely going to be next in line to fight some upper echelon competition. And I mean, he's already like what, like number 7 or number like 11 or 12 by the WBA, by the worldwide rankings. So I mean, yeah, he's already next in line to become like a world champion. So I mean, you know, definitely fight Michel Rivera if Devin wants to, you know, give him that opportunity. And he could also fight Hector Tanajara. You know, he's a good fighter. I would definitely like to see that fight. And I say yeah, that's pretty much it. Cuz there's like nobody, like, yeah, there's like nobody else I could really think of that would really give Devin that much of a problem. Oh, Isaac Cruz. Yeah, Isaac Cruz would be a good fight too. But I don't know if he's actually that high enough in rank, which I don't think Devin would really, you know, want to care so much about taking that fight. Or actually, no, fight Jackson Marinas. Jackson Marinas, you know, would be a very good fight for Devin too, because I think Jackson, if he were to put on a good show against Devin, it would definitely get 135 a lot more buzzing, and definitely give Devin, like, you know, the fight that he actually wants, to actually take out big names. But either way, I think that's where it needs to be for Devin Haney. But let me know what you guys think. What opponents that Devin Haney should fight possibly next for his career to become more solidified for his boxing legacy. Alright, so let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye.